Hey guys, Joe Jolly here from Sunset Performance Engines in Sherman, Texas, and today we're going to talk about valve train maintenance and the costly mistakes you are probably making. So one thing I get a lot of is people calling, and they're not even our engine customers. A lot of them aren't, but they just genuinely need help. So we have a running joke in the shop. It's called Joe's Free Tech Line. So when someone calls, and I hate to see someone struggle. If somebody needs help, I've always been that person. I'll do my damnedest to try to help them. So that's why we're going to run over the valve lash thing today, and just hopefully this helps someone out in the future, and they understand how to set valve lash and don't have to call me. Okay, guys, this is a 781. We just finished dynoing, so I'm just going to run over with you on valve lash today. A lot of people don't know how to set valve lash, or maybe not know how to set valve lash correctly. So just going to try to give my tutorial of the way I was taught, the way I've always done it, and maybe this will help somebody out. So the easiest way to remember this, if you don't do it all day, every day like I do, just go in the firing order. So obviously we all start at number one cylinder, EOIC, exhaust opening, intake closing. So right now, if I just bump this starter a little bit, you'll see this exhaust valve here is opening. It's about halfway open. You want to set this intake or check it. So you put your tool up here. That's good. Now I like a little snugness on them to where it'll hold itself. Some guys run them tighter, some guys run them looser, but it'll tell you if something's going on. If it moves a thou or two, at least you'll go, well, was that right before or was it not? Because you're looking for consistency over 16 rocker arms or 8 little engines is what you're dealing with here on this thing. So that's the main thing. So we'll just buzz through these. You'll see how quick I can do it, and then I'll come back and explain maybe how. So, okay, there goes one. This is a 7/4 swap cam. I'm not running on the other side of the engine back and forth, so it's going to go 187. So 7 will be the next exhaust rocker to open. There goes 7. That one's good. There goes 3. That one's good. There goes 5, and that one's good. So that went 1873, 6542, but just with me on this side. So now all my intakes are checked. So now we'll start back at 1. This intake is closing now. Okay, so there's my number 1 exhaust. Now to be number 7 intake that's going to put on the closing side again. So 1873, 65. Okay, and as you can see, we didn't have to touch any of those. So if I did, that's where this tool comes in handy. So we're just going to kind of run over, which we've already set all these, but we're just going to check and make sure everything here is tight. These little LSM torque wrenches are badass. They're set to 22 foot-pounds. It's amazing how many rocker arms, not in the steel world anymore, but still you'll stress the adjuster if you over torque it. But I'm sure all of us have broken aluminum rockers in the past to where the top of it just splits the rocker in two. It looks like you peeled off a beer can top. Well, that's because it's been over torqued or over stressed at some point. So these little tools are handy. And then one other thing I wanted to, like every Sunset engine, and this pretty much goes for most engines on the planet really, I don't get into splitting 1 or 2 or 3 thou of valve lash. That's called picking pepper out of the fly shit. That's what I tell people. So we don't do that. Every engine that you get from us, if it's cast iron block, aluminum head, it's 18 thou cold, 24 hot. If it's aluminum block and aluminum head, it's 12 cold and 24 hot. That way all my lash ends at, let's say 150, 160 degrees. You're going to be 24 thousandths hot across the board. I don't have time to go hunting for 2 different feeler gauges over 2 thousandths on a cam card, and neither do you. So set them cold, 12 on aluminum and aluminum, 18 cold on iron block and aluminum head. Okay, on when to run your valve lash, we change oil every 25, 35 runs. Valve lash, if you've got 5 minutes at the end of the night when you're done, I know you either won or got your ass kicked, one of the two, so maybe you're not in the mood to run valves, or you're busy taking a winter circle picture. But I tell guys, man, try to run them at least every night. It's so easy to take 6 or 7 nuts off a valve cover and just run over them. Because it will save you so much money in the long run. If you make a run or two with a broken valve spring, it's going to hurt. And that is the main thing that will get these things. So just try to run them every night. If you made 5 rounds, 7 rounds, you know, 2 or 3 time trials, then you just put 10 laps on that thing. And if you don't have to run them that night, kind of my max is, man, you got to do it every oil change, you know, and that kind of varies with the engine. I mean, if you've got a smaller camshaft and a lot less aggressive profiles, yeah, 25, 50 runs when you're doing your oil change and your cycle, check them. You get one of these monsters right here, or you get something, you know, inch 050 lift, um, man, check them every 5, 7, 10 runs. Like I said, give it the little spin over that we did earlier just to kind of hear. A lot of times if it's got a broken spring, you'll hear a clicking sound. And once you get to know the sounds and kind of the characteristics of your engine, when you hear something weird, don't talk yourself out of it. 9 times out of 10, you did hear something weird, and you'll talk yourself out of it, and you'll go out there and hurt something on the next run. We've all been there. I've done it too. So LSM tool, now we're going to check some valve springs. Let's get this one on base circle and have a look at it. This just hooks on to the rocker arm like this. This has 3 different positions here, actually 4 different holes where it can pivot in and out. That way you can get the rocker, the fulcrum, pretty far out over the roller tip to where it's still on the body of the rocker, but as far out as you can get it, but not be touching the tip. This isn't going to be exactly accurate, but you're looking for consistency and it's going to be close. Like if I went and looked at the spec sheet, this is a split spring engine because it's a 781. This is a 1260 spring. This thing probably has 450 on the seat on our spec sheet, and this one probably has 420 on the exhaust. So that's a 1260 on the intake and a 1249 on the exhaust. So we'll pull this one, see what it's got. That's going to show us about 430. You feel it break off the seat right there. We'll go over here and check this intake. It's got lash. Kind of good. That's why we cut these heads. The 5-inch bore spacers are a little bit trickier about that, so we have to cut that for the spring to be able to fit into. And you pull on it, it's showing me about 480, which I know is a little heavy, but I'm looking for consistency. So now I would run across the whole engine. If I get one that's 50, 75 pounds down, I know, hey, I've probably got a broken inner spring and I need to have a look. So when you slow down 3 or 4 500s on a racetrack, 2-3 mile an hour, this is the first place you go. Valve train maintenance is key. If you make a run with a broken spring, you might get by with 1, 2. You're probably going to have a pile of parts, a drop valve, something, and have a really bad day. So another trick that people don't understand either, these are 8 little engines. So a lot of times, if I don't have time to run valves, don't even turn your ignition on. Or if you think, man, I slowed down, but my car, maybe it doesn't sound right on the return road or something coming back, just reach up here and do this. Hear how that cranks over evenly. That means I've got 8 little engines all with the same cranking compression right there. If I had one that was down or had a rocker arm off, that would have a big skip to it. It won't be a nice even crank. So that's a quick, easy, hey, I'm in between rounds, I'm in a mad thrash, I don't have time to run my valves. You just reach up and hit the starter, don't turn the ignition on, just crank it over and give it an ear listen. If it sounds good, just like that did, cranking evenly for a while, that means you've got no issues in the valve train. All 8 of your little engines are in good shape. So obviously the valve lash tool made by LSM and the spring testing tool are available on our pro shop, speproshop.com, and through our Facebook and through our website. So when it comes to the valve lash torque wrench and the spring tester, these are things that, I mean, I've probably had mine in that dyno drawer right there for 20 years. And it's never worn out on me. I haven't had to replace it. The pin falls out of it after 20 years. Every 6 months, I have to push this little pin back in. But other than that, it's seen a lot of use. We highly recommend these things because the rocker arms, like I said, the steel ones aren't so bad now, but you'll still overdo the adjuster if you're using this big long wrench and just getting crazy on them. You will overtax, over torque, over stress these things and cause a problem. So highly recommend this. Highly recommend the spring checking tool. It really is money in the bank for the customer to alleviate as many mistakes without even knowing they're making a mistake. That's the biggest bang for their buck I think they can get. So highly recommend these. You can pick them up at the pro shop. Thank you so much.